The Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Rebels, how are you doing? Laker fans, are you panicking? NFL fans, are you ready? Oh my goodness, it feels like football season already. It's been crazy wild here in sports, and as we get closer and closer to the summer, it is about off time. NBA, NHL, we're wrapping up the regular season, getting ready for playoffs. We're going to break it down, and we're going to get down, and no one will be censored here. We're having fun, and it is no holds barred. So, without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for another edition of DSR2 on this glorious Wednesday here in the D. Yes, looks like we finally got weather that's suitable for May, not frickin' March. All right, I'm telling you. I mean, what we've been getting here in the last 2 weeks, bullshit.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Bullshit.
My buddy SoCal Mike is always rubbing it in my face because it's all nice there.
Oh, it's nice here. Yeah, well, it's great. You know what? This
Son
damn
of
thing
a
falls
bitch.
in the fucking ocean there. You know what? Guess what? We'll be safe. You think it's ironic that GM built their headquarters and their plants here? No.
Canada Mike's in. He knows. He's already in on and he knows how it is to deal with the cooler temperatures this time of year. So he feels our pain, I'm sure. But all you cats in the warm climates, we love you, but screw you too. No, we wish we were there. That's all. And jealous.
Not in a month from now, because it'll be like 95 and 95% humidity. So you know what? And guess what? We'll be like 80.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I agree. But I'm going to tell you what.
Come January, yeah, I want to be there.
I would take those brutally hot months if I could get rid of the brutally cold months.
Right.
So that's just me. I'm more of a warm weather guy than a cold weather guy, but everybody is a little
I
bit
like
different.
being on there, but then again, is I don't want hurricanes coming in and take everything away from me. So we got here lots here to talk about here.
there's
The
that.
NFL is about to release their schedule here. Most of it though is leaked on there. At least week 1 on there, so we got that. We also have basically NBA actions while wrapping up the regular season. As we said, Lakers are now in the play-in playoff.
Well, at this point,
yeah.
well, they still got a couple games to go, right?
They may be out. Well, they'll still be in it because it's
Yeah.
even if they fall to 9 or 10, they'll still
They'll
be
get in it, yeah. But
But
it's going to change the matchup.
it's a one-game thing, and
Yeah.
I don't think you want to. If you're 7
Dude.
or you're 8. In
Imagine-
Portland 7, you don't want to be playing Portland on one game on there with Dame going all Dame on you.
Well, that's what I'm saying about in the intro about, Lakers fans, are you freaking? Because you get into anything can happen in one game.
Yes.
And if you don't have those guys healthy and playing on point, AD and LeBron, you're screwed.
Yeah, and then what do you get for if you win that game? If you're 7 versus 8 and you win,
Right.
you get to play the top seed in the West.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm the Suns, the last thing I want is the Lakers in the first round.
Yeah, well, right now Utah's the first, and then
Right.
Phoenix.
Well,
second,
even
but
Utah. If I'm Utah, I still
I
don't.
don't want. I don't want the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't want it.
I want the Lakers to lose, and then lose again.
See, Canada Mike, it's even worse for him than it is for us. It snowed there, he said yesterday. We had hail like not that long ago.
Friday,
yeah.
I froze my ass.
I drove
off.
up in the hail. and
Well,
was
I
like,
was
what
sitting
the-
there during a softball
Oh,
game.
yay.
We had a rain delay to start.
Ugh.
Go out there, freeze our asses off, getting rain again, and then all of a sudden we're like getting wet, and they start coming down good. They're like, oh, call rain delay. So go back to the cars, try to
Yes.
warm the fuck up,
Yeah.
come
thaw
back out, freeze my asses off. Of course, they won. Thank God.
Right.
The kids won. Got home. I'm like, I'm chilled to the bone. I'm like, screw this. Went immediately downstairs, grabbed a bottle of bourbon, grabbed a nice glass, poured about 2.5 fingers in there, and I basically sipped bourbon neat. I made sure I grabbed the 100 proof bourbon. And I finally got warm and toasty.
Yes, get to warm up the blood. Oh, jeez, too funny.
We got hockey on there. The playoffs are starting for hockey.
We got a couple more games, right? No?
We are done with.
We are done with hockey. Oh, okay.
Regular season's
for
done.
some reason, I thought we had a game tomorrow or something, but I guess I was wrong. So the playoffs start this weekend then.
Yeah.
Because I was like looking forward. I was like, I thought we were wrapping up hockey, and I
think we wrapped it up.
And then I went into Yahoo, and for some reason I thought that there was a couple, but maybe but I must be wrong. I was kind of ripping through it a little bit.
Yeah, we wrapped it up there. So yeah,
Okay.
it wrapped up over the weekend. So we got playoffs starting here. They start basically play. Oh wait, today's the last day of the.
See, that's what I see. See, now you're doing what I was doing. Because now you got me confused. Because I was on, like I said, I was on earlier this morning. And I could have swore.
No, the playoffs start. The playoffs actually start tonight. So we got Toronto versus Ottawa, 8 o'clock. Vegas versus San Jose, 9 o'clock.
Wait a minute. Well, how come I've got a final here for today? Overtime. Habs and Oilers. Is that they already had a game?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought that was tomorrow for some reason.
That was today, 4-3 in overtime.
Okay.
So yeah, we got 4 games later. So we got Toronto, Ottawa, Vegas, San Jose, Minnesota at St. Louis, and the Kings versus the Avalanche.
I totally missed that game earlier. Yikes. See, that's the thing too with NHL, and I hope that this new TV deal that they're going to have for next season will be a better situation, because even finding these games in these crazy times, I know.
Yeah, because you got the ESPN. Well, I got it on the other, but it's like ESPN plus NBC's got a game on Saturday night, 7:15, Boston at Washington. Well, actually, that'd be a good game.
Yeah, I'm going to catch that game. But like I said, I've seen very little of anything. I didn't realize that they started today. I thought they were this weekend. I thought we had another game tomorrow, set of games tomorrow. I didn't realize the games that I'm looking at here were actually today. I don't know if my Yahoo was messed up this morning or what, but my phone might have been jacked up. But so I was like, oh, okay, we still got a couple games left. Yeah, way off the board on that one. I know we're getting wrapped up for the NBA season, so that's what I was really digging into this morning. So, but that's the thing with the NHL. They just don't have like a solid, easy way to find games. They don't advertise on any kind of major anything.
And NBC basically they don't care anymore because they're not going to cover it after this year anyway.
And it's just like it's a debacle. And I remember as a kid, hockey wasn't as hard to find in our market because we were so close to Canada between the Red Wings and some of the Canadian teams. You had CBC that you could watch, and you had the channel, of course,
the
our
local
games
affiliate cover on there,
and so it just didn't seem so hard to find games now. Like even finding the local games, if you don't go to the Fox Sports Net or whatever the hell they got the game on, it's like, like I said, if you're not, I don't know, if you're not self-motivated, you don't catch these big matchups. I don't know how many games I missed this year that I wanted to see because I just forgot. Because I get reminded every day about NBA and NFL games. I see soccer commercials like I'm going to lose my mind.
Right.
And I don't see anything from the NHL. They don't start until the 19th in the NHL, dude. That's what I thought.
What the hell's going this schedule?
That's what I thought, dude. Thank you. I thought we had a whole nother fucking week or whatever. It is next week.
Okay, then now we stand corrected then.
Yeah, that's what okay, so I'm not fucking crazy. I thought, yeah, whatever. See, I don't even know what I thought. We're all over the place. Great show, Moose. We don't even know when the fucking playoffs are. What are we fucking doing here?
Well, because it's goddamn hockey, man. They don't tell you anything on it.
Well, that's what I was looking at this. I thought for sure when I was looking at this thing would be bracketed out. It would have some kind of playoff situation or layout. It had nothing, so I just assumed these were all regular season games. But also, the slot of games that I was looking at for today, I thought were tomorrow's. So then when you said all that shit, I thought I was way off. So I was just going with it. But that's what happened there.
So.
But yeah, like I said, the NHL doesn't give you shit as far as there's nothing.
So also too, as they said, is Conor McGregor is listed as the top revenue sports star, $180 million last year. Of course, most of that was all from selling his shares in his whiskey company. So
Yeah, well, smart man. Smart man. And that's how you do business, right?
yeah,
You make something successful and then you sell it and
sell it.
get your profit and sit on back. I mean, that's what I would do. But if I could. But yeah, I'm not really surprised by that. I think, as we know, most athletes make more money outside the sport.
Yeah,
You know, endorsement deals or whatever the case may be. In this case, it's his own entrepreneurship.
yeah, it's part of his group or whatever that
Yeah.
formed the whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, pales comparison of what freaking Ryan Reynolds made for selling his gin company. I mean, shit, he made like $700 million.
Yeah. See,
Clooney
but
made $1 billion selling his tequila company, and
yeah, but you're like, you got to think about this. You know, timing is everything, right?
yes,
And that's the key to that. And some people just have amazing timing.
right.
I mean, it goes along. You know, obviously you have the skill and smarts and
Plus,
you
the
know,
Irish
all this
whiskey
other,
he's
but
got, it's not that great.
No, it isn't.
No.
It's just.
Whereas
it's
I
just-
heard the Aviator gin is really good.
Yeah. Well, that's the key. Is, you know, if you're gonna put your name on something, you really need to do your research and you know, check certain you know, who's making this stuff. How is it? I wouldn't want to come up with this, like, sell this whiskey, do all this. You know, you've seen the hype train with him and that,
Yeah.
and how he did that, and then he had, you know, then it comes out and it tastes like fuck. It tastes like, you know, bottom shelf bullshit
Okay.
whiskey.
All right, here's where I'm looking at the hockey shit on there, because the season was 56 games. Some of the teams already hit it, but then a couple of them, these are all makeup games.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's
See,
why.
Edmonton
That's why
only
I
played-
saw. I almost guarantee you my Yahoo was
Yeah.
wrong because they were trying to figure out. Didn't the game get postponed?
Yeah, quite because Vancouver.
That's why my shit was
Right, because
different.
Vancouver
Okay.
only has 51 games played, so they got to do some makeups on there. Toronto's only played 54 and so forth. So again, there are teams
That's
out
why.
there that are going to get a fucking week off before
Yeah, wait,
playoffs start.
playoffs.
And then you got some of these Canadian teams that basically got to play another fucking week. Edmonton's only got one more game to play, and then they'll hit the 56, and then they'll get a couple days off of that. But you know, the Maple Leafs only played 54, so they still got two. Calgary's only played 52, so they've got to make up games. The same thing with you've
right.
got Colorado. So these are all makeup. This playoffs should have started, but COVID and everything with it,
Yeah.
things got pushed.
That's what I.
back in it.
And that's why my thing was probably messed up earlier because they were
It
adjusting
really doesn't
for
see
the.
on who makes the play for who
Right.
doesn't make the playoffs, because those are pretty much all set. It's just basically where they're going to be in standings. But again, even St. Louis, they can't move up anything because they're 50. They're made the playoffs, but they are 16 points behind Minnesota. So even if they win their two next games, they're not moving up anything. So
Yeah. I don't know. But needless to say, we've got games that are still going to be played. So, but you know, it's one of those things where you end up getting. Our roving reporter just dropped the NHL schedule, what the bracket looks like. Regular season comes to an end, so he just sent me the bracket, the DraftKings bracket. So thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. I'll take a look at that here at the break because I am curious.
yeah, we'll be talking about like who we think is going to be our favorites to get in.
Well, that's what I thought. That's why I was like, I just wanted to make sure we had another week because I didn't break down any playoff hockey yet. So, like, I was like, okay, I know we got some interesting matchups. We're going to talk a little bit about that and what we'll want to break down going into next week. But I was like starting to panic here, Moose. I'm like, what? They're starting already?
So yeah, next week we'll have our NHL and NBA playoff spectaculars.
So
Going into that, so
yeah, so there you go. But yeah, I just wish the NHL was a little bit easier to find. So I hope that happens here next season with the new TV deals and all that stuff. But it's weird right now because everything is down across the boards as far as viewership, and everybody's trying to figure out why that is. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's super simple, dude. People are cutting the cord, and the major ratings measure for all these years has been through cable
Yeah,
providers.
it's been through the Nielsen on here.
Yeah.
You can't do it if you're streaming.
Right. So the Nielsen is like not nearly as accurate as it should be. All the other numbers that you try to accumulate to add to that and put together, all that stuff, a lot of that stuff is not as accurate as it should be. It's not even necessarily, accurate, right? Like, so somebody like, it's easily manipulated. There's just a lot of things that go into that. So, so digital numbers are harder to prove. So viewership, people are viewing it in all kinds of different ways. Shit, I can watch all kinds of shit in an app, and I have no idea if they can tell how much time or who's watching and when. If 3 of us at work are standing around my phone on lunch break watching something, or on whatever,
the
how
various
would they know?
The companies that do the streaming, they got algorithms so they can figure it out, but they're not releasing everything to the public and that, because they're like, screw that, that's proprietary information, so we know it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and you know what, and that's kind of how this has always been in the streaming, right? It's the same thing with us. We've been podcasting for a long time, and Moose, you've been on for most of it.
Yeah.
And there's no way that no one can. It's like when you try to merge a business or sell a business, you don't like open the books. You sell the business, right? You sell it. You don't open the books to nobody.
No.
And then they figure it out when they take over. Yeah.
Buyer beware.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So like you don't just open up the books.
But if you want to buy into a certain business on here, they want to see your books.
Yeah.
Then they want to see. You want to buy into NFL team? We need to see your books.
Right. So, and then then that's where it becomes problematic. That's why cats don't get in, things don't happen.
To the club.
Yes.
And once you're part of the club, you don't leave the club.
Right.
Unless you're forced to leave the club.
So, but in this case, it's almost like you don't, if you're telling somebody, hey, we do advertising, we got this, we got that, we can do this, we do that. You don't like show them, you just kind of tell them what you have, and they don't have any way to prove it. And then it is what it is. And in a lot of cases, I can legitimately say, like for us, we're on so many different platforms. I can get real numbers by putting them all together, and I'll be pretty close if they're accurate, but I don't know how true it is. And then it's never what it seems. Like if you go on this page or that page, you get 2 different stories. Right. So of what the viewership's like. So,
but if a major conglomerate wants to buy us, we are for sale.
Yes, and we would absolutely, for sure. But I mean, it's just one of those things that like, so I'm kind of curious of how they're going to handle that going forward and how that's going to relate to the NHL, right? Everybody's hungry for ratings, and are people watching the NHL? We don't know. So that, and then like I said, with the way they're tracking this stuff, it's going to be an interesting dynamic for all this stuff, because it's like in pro wrestling they just make up these numbers arbitrarily, and they'll hit and they don't make them up, but they'll look at the ratings and go, okay, well, but that's not the only source of ratings, and that's not necessarily everything. And then when the big picture doesn't work, then they pigeonhole it and say, well, in this demographic from 18 to 35-year-olds, we did outstanding. Well, what do you mean outstanding? What's outstanding? So it's just it's horseshit. Yes. So right now you're in the middle of all this like horseshit version of ratings, or so that's why everything's down across the board. But the NBA, which we're going to shift gears to here in a second, since we have a little bit of time till playoff hockey, the NBA is like a sinking ship right now. Like everything's down across the board. NFL, NHL, other space, MLB, just everything across the board. Whatever you're watching on TV is down, but like the NBA is on a steady decline, and it's more obvious than other sports. And so I think that's going to be the coming story next year, right? They just paid big money for these things. Now there's a shift in the power. Didn't ESPN just spend a bunch of money on the NBA?
Oh yeah.
And now they're getting back in the NHL sweepstakes after they jammed them up.
They basically got on
right.
This. But and again with the NBA, like people get paying fucking obscene amounts of money for cats. I'm going, What?
Right.
You're saying contract for what?
All that is gonna. That's all those
Yeah.
dynamics are gonna start changing next year.
Right.
Watch. It's
When
gonna be
the salary
totally
cap
different.
Goes down. Look what the NFL said. Well, this year numbers went down. Your salary cap shrunk.
Yep.
Now next year when they get their new TV contract, because it's the NFL and the NFL's king, so you're going to go from 180 salary cap to like 220 million salary cap.
Yeah, so those are all things that we're going to be talking about, but the NBA is the one to watch, guys. It's the one to be that'll probably be the most
So if you have
concerning.
a team and you're drafting well and you got guys cheap under, those are the ones basically going to be okay.
Right.
But the guys that basically paid obscene amounts of money for
Yep.
guys, you're going, all right,
What?
dude, what?
Yep.
Who?
Yeah, if they don't get out of those contracts by the end of this year, they're going to be fucked.
Yes.
And that's and NBA is a lot more guaranteeing contracts. So anyway, yeah, so that's going to be the story going into next year. The story right here this year is obviously the playoffs, and I'm sorry, but availability is going to be the best ability come playoffs, and that's going to be the story of the NBA, I think, this year. So out of all these teams, well, I guess we could start. Where do you want to start, East or West? Since we're going to start breaking down a little bit of who,
We can
what,
go,
where, because I think
Let's go East
Okay.
because the West
Who's-
at the end is going to be fun.
fun. Okay, so who is the most surprising situation here in the East going in? Now, Doc Rivers has got question marks over, and we'll get into the West because the Clippers are not any different than they've ever been, right?
No, the Clippers are the Clippers.
Right.
We'll get into that.
But we'll get into that. But now that, and it was all Doc's fault. But well, whatever.
Well, I don't think it's.
Well, we're gonna find out, right? Because he's got the collapses around his teams, right? He's got a 3-1 that he lost.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of 3-2s that he lost
Right.
in the playoffs. So there are questions there. So is what's the biggest surprise going in? Are we looking at that stuff? I don't see an epic collapse by the Sixers because the East is pretty tight.
Right.
Like if you're gonna play Milwaukee and Brooklyn and you lose to those cats, is that an upset?
No. I don't think that is because I think Brooklyn, being that they're only 2 games behind, and they've been playing cats without missing guys all throughout the season. I mean, Durant hasn't played a whole lot this season. Kyrie's been out for a little while.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Harden's been out for a little while. Now he's back under. Now Kyrie's back out under.
Sure.
If you get everybody together for Brooklyn in time, it comes when they
dude.
get to the conference finals or whatever, they play Philly,
Right.
and they beat Philly. No, I don't see that as an upset.
Right. Well, that's
Because I think Brooklyn has got to be the favorite to go into it.
Well, and to me, if Brooklyn's healthy, and this is why I said that, best ability is going to be availability here coming in the playoffs because it's the war of attrition, and we'll be talking about that on the in the Western bracket here in a second, but as well, and that's going to be the story of the playoffs. But
Of so far on the biggest surprises, really, I mean, is the Knicks.
bam, no one wants to touch the Knicks right now. No one wants to play
because
them
they're the
cats.
only team that really plays any defense.
Thibs is the man.
Yes.
I mean, I
And
really
then
don't know what to say.
Boston, now they lost Jaylen Brown. They're just sacrificial fodder.
Well, and at this point,
That's even if they make the playoffs, because right now they're 7. They're in the play-in.
my whole thing with Boston is I just don't have faith they can pull anything out.
No.
Right? Like
soft.
there's no confidence there.
That team is soft.
it feels like it. Like they had to have it seemed like they had an identity. They were building towards one, and then they just said,
They blew it. They basically got rid of the guys out there you thought on there because you're building. I know you had Jaylen Brown, you had Tatum on there, but you had other guys out there that played damn good ball in that, and they had a nice cohesion and everything. Even that year when Kyrie was out, and they go to the conference finals, and they basically took them right down to the end.
right.
I thought, okay, the Boston, and they just got rid of guys, and you go, and who they brought in was just not the answers.
Right.
Unfortunately, I like Kemba Walker, but he's got the knees of a 70-year-old.
Yeah, I like Kemba too, but he's kind of one of those luxury kind of guys to me, right? Like because he can't be a workhorse, he'd be a guy that like if you already had a team that was like this close and you could make a couple changes and add a Kemba Walker to the mix somewhere, then that'd be kind of like an Andre Iguodala type where you kind of add that depth to the mix. That's about the best you're going to get out of that guy, I think, at this point. Like you said, With the knees, he just can't play those kinds of minutes and be that kind of a workhorse where, this
The
league,
team of
got to have a couple of them.
basically is, and again, we'd almost would have said Washington on there, but now they lost Beal, so I don't think Washington's there. If Beal and Westbrook get to the playoffs in there, they could put the scare of God into somebody.
Well, and we were talking about it last week a little bit. We hinted on it, or maybe a couple of weeks ago, about that. Don't sleep on those guys, because look at Washington now, and Westbrook, man, like, what, he had 21 dimes the other day, dude. That is insane. I think he had 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 21 dimes.
Yeah, Beal didn't get the wrist injury. They would be the team that basically say is they're going into that play-in tournament on there. They're going to get into it, and they could put the fear of God of somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But losing Beal on there, I don't think Westbrook can carry the whole everything. Especially if they get into it, they're going to have to face Brooklyn or Philly in the first.
Well, that was my whole thing, right? So if they can even get in, if Westbrook can will that team, and which he can, I mean, this guy's
he can still will that.
Oh
team,
yeah,
but I don't think they can get. They can get to the playoffs, but I don't think they can get beyond that.
Yeah, that's a rough go beyond that, like you said. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. So, yeah, I think a lot of this stuff isn't a surprise. I think the only thing I think would be a little bit of surprising in the East would be that, I guess, what we talk about with Washington kind of playing above the rim, so to speak. I knew Boston would regress or kind of stay on where they were, but I didn't think they'd kind of crumble the way that kind of did. And then the same thing, I think, with a couple other teams. But the Knicks has been the one, and I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out.
Milwaukee, and Knicks may put the spear of God into.
Yeah,
I mean, they play defense. They're going to play some defense on there. And they may, I think
Milwaukee
on there, but Milwaukee's going to have to fight to get through this first round.
Yeah, I think New York can steal a couple.
I think Philly and Brooklyn are going to coast through the first round, and I don't think there'll be any problem whatsoever.
Right.
But Miami and Atlanta, that's going to be an entertaining, freaking great series, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Atlanta.
This could be the coming out party for Trae Young on a national level.
Yep. I think Atlanta will finally get a little bit of showcasing. They've been a fun team to watch, and you're right. So I think it'll be good for both, to be honest with you. I like the Jimmy Butler scenario. I just think he's fun to watch.
I love Jimmy Butler, and again, as we say here, like locally here, the Pistons and that, they're doing it right.
Yes.
No, we're not gonna fuck. We're not pulling a Jets here.
Yes.
We're not gonna. Guys are sitting.
Yes, we are not taking any chances and accidentally stealing a victory. Why the fuck? We want as many ping pong balls.
We know
as
they're going to try to
possible.
screw us over anyways in there and on it, but we want them on there. And again, somehow reason is if they end up with the number one pick and we get Cade Cunningham, I'll be like jumping through hoops and dancing in the streets and shit. But
our luck, they'll pick somebody we never even heard of or some dumb shit at.
If they have the number one pick, it's Cade Cunningham.
Yeah,
they
won't get it.
It's the no-brainer on there.
They won't get it. They'll get it at they'll get 3 or something.
And again, we'll end up with 5. Watch, we're going to get screwed and end up with the 5th pick. But if it gives us Devin Mitchell from Baylor, Donovan's little brother, yes. I'll take it.
It's like, I don't care. Anybody, somebody.
I'll take Devin Mitchell, put him at the 2. I'm all happy then. So we'll see in there. But yeah, most of these teams, I mean, the East is going to be pretty much on it. It's good. I have a feeling it's going to be one of the on it.
Yeah,
I don't know if Milwaukee has enough to.
See, I was about to say that's the one team that
I'm not sure.
I'm with you. That's the one team. Everybody talks about Philly and what could happen with but Milwaukee's the one that I'm a little unsure of. I just don't have a whole lot of confidence. It feels like every time they're in there,
they could lose in the second round. They could basically go to the damn NBA championship and win it all.
It's so wild, man. It's like a dynamic. I can't even Yeah, it definitely messes with me. So yeah,
whereas last year before they going into the bubble in it, I thought Milwaukee was the surest thing to get to the finals, and as soon as they came into basically that little run there before the tournament, the playoffs started in the bubble, they didn't seem right from the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
You just say, yeah. Whereas Miami was like, oh, we don't even know what they're gonna do, and all of a sudden they got in that bubble, and all of a sudden like, man, They're the team.
Well, and it's one of those, we talked about it too in the time of the bubble, that it was one of those things where you have a feast or famine situation where you either thrive in that kind of environment where you've got nothing but basketball, or it breaks you down, and and you guys start getting at each other and playing bad, and da 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 da. So I think that's
But Philly, I'm curious on it. I mean, we'll know on it again. We'll pretty much know right away. If Philly comes out there in the first round and blows whoever they're playing out in like 4 straight, then we'll say,
all right.
Because again, the Doc can get you on there. Joel Embiid's looking like an offensive juggernaut. Ben Simmons is really taking a step forward this year on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know on it, but again, how hard is it going to be to guard a freaking 7-foot point guard?
I know.
And some of these clowns out there that said, who was it? Max Kellerman.
Oh,
Fucking
jeez.
idiot.
Oh, God.
Talk about
Yes.
we're all dumber now on it, and I
Yes.
award you no points, and may have God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, yeah, he's
said
brutal.
LeBron James is the second best point guard in NBA history, or the best point guard in NBA history.
What is he even talking about?
First of all, did you kind of forget about a certain individual who also played for the Lakers
Yeah.
that played point guard? Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I just, to me, LeBron can play all those positions, but he's not a natural point guard.
No.
So let's just stop with.
Magic was the best point guard I've ever seen.
All right.
I don't give me that crap about stock. Dude, I could have 10 dimes on there and I'll pick and roll if I had Karl Malone there, okay?
Yeah, yeah, but you have to say, there is one thing about, there has to be something said about you played 19 years with a team, and before you got there, after you left, while you were there, the 19 years you were there, they had 19 playoff appearances.
Yes.
So I'm not taking anything away from
he's
John Stockton.
I have him in the top 5.
Yes.
But I just don't have it at number 1. and
Well,
I
no,
don't-
because you still got Zeke out there.
Right. Zeke, I got number 2.
Right.
Because we seen the head-to-head matchup when Zeke played Stockton.
Yeah.
He took him to school.
Yes.
Especially when he got snubbed from the Dream Team.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to make an example out of you.
Yeah.
Don't select me. Here's what I could have done.
Yeah.
I'm going to take him to school.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zeke was the best, and he was the best little man to ever play the game.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. He was a killer too. I mean, he was smiling, but he was
smiling. They called him the smiling assassin,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a killer, man. He had that killer instinct. That's where that whole everybody kind of thinks of like Lambeer and Mahorn and all that. And
No, Zeke was the
Zeke, they were just
he was the straw
embodied.
that stirred the drink.
Yeah,
baby.
they embodied what he brought to the table.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it twisted.
It was Zeke and
Yeah.
Lambeer basically on it. They had that on there. They had that attitude like,
Yeah.
screw it.
Yep.
You want us to be? What? We're the bad guys. Fine.
Yep.
Hate us.
They embraced the heel.
They still embrace it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Unrepentantly.
Yes, and they're still in Jordan's head.
Yes.
and
And they love it.
Rent free, they live in that motherfucker.
Jordan wins 6 titles and they're still in his head.
I know, he is the GOAT, unquestionably. I don't care, LeBron lovers. LeBron is the greatest player you ever saw. I know that's great, but he's not the GOAT. And yeah. And rent free in that dude's head.
And they love it.
That's amazing. That's the cool thing about sports, man. That's why I like it.
Yep.
But see, it's not like that anymore, right? Like, you can't taunt or do any of the, say so. Like, I just think there's probably a lot less trash talking going on. I know that's still there,
But
it's not like
today.
it was back in the 80s when they'd throw punches and shit on top
You
of
don't
it
have
all.
that natural animosity because everybody's
Right.
buddies and chums.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, but problem is like in the 80s, Lakers and Celtics hated each other.
Yeah.
But then again, they hated each other in the 70s. They hated each other in the 60s.
It just makes for
It
great
was just that
storytelling,
long
right?
down there. And yes, we
Great
don't
drama.
like you
Yeah.
on there. We're honest. And of course, you got Larry Bird saying, I'm going to do it here. I'm going to spin out. I'm going to dip the ball here. I'm going to go in the corner. He's going to pass it back. And I'm going to hit the game winner 3.
All right.
And then they do it.
Yep.
And they go, son of a bitch. Freaking voodoo witch doctor.
Yeah.
But we got the West out there. We got Utah and Phoenix. I'm not sure. Again, this is the most wide open one on it because I'm not sure. Is there anyone? I mean,
Dude,
there could be 8. I mean, literally, any of the top 8 teams could get to the damn final.
Oh, dude, it's going to be a free for all in the West. That was my thing on it. See, okay, that's why
Because I would have thought Denver would have basically tanked on there after losing Jamal Murray. But they're like, again, Jokic has basically just got himself the MVP the way he's been playing.
Well, it definitely feels that way. So I see. That's why I'm glad you went with the East first, because the West has got a whole lot of going on there. Because as much as Phoenix and Utah being at the top is kind of a surprise and staying there, LA fighting the Lakers fighting to get in is another thing. But look at Steph Curry and the Warriors. He's putting up 50 burgers on a rego.
He is now only like something like 73 pointers behind Ray Allen in like 600 less games.
Yeah, he's gonna blow that record away.
And it'll be untouchable.
Yeah,
it'd be like if Barry Sanders would have played another 4 years.
Right.
It would have been nobody would have touched it. He would have had over 20,000 yards.
Yeah. Yep. No one would have touched.
Nobody touched it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially not with the way the game is now.
Especially now
on
it. And again, you don't know what Portland. They can get on a run. They can get hot because you got Lillard, and they can get hot. Dallas can get hot. As we said, Denver, you can't count them out, even though they lost Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, I want to say, is Denver might be that team that just nobody wants to play.
Right.
But you still don't want to play because Jokic is just basically playing out of his mind there. Getting on the Clippers. I don't know what to make out of them.
That's another one right there. I don't either. I'm with you. I always feel like it's a safe.
I do love Kawhi can get you there because he has gotten teams there, won it with 2 different teams. It's just I don't know what to make out of Paul George.
Yeah.
I don't know what to get out of that.
I don't either. It's like it's almost I just feel like in those moments, in those big meaningful moments, it's not that he's horrible, it's just that you don't see the impact from him that you want. And I don't know, the Clippers are like, it's hard to explain because they're just kind of there to me.
Yes.
And they float around in the middle, but like
I know they swept the Lakers in the regular season. They won the regular season series, and
but
I just don't know what to make out of it.
But the Lakers are fighting to get in,
right?
Well, so what does that even mean?
Even when they had everybody together in the beginning, they took care of business. But I don't know what to make out of those Clippers. I don't know what to say.
They're so wildly inconsistent, and I just don't know what to expect from them.
Dallas, you don't know what. Again, you don't know what to get on there.
Well, this is the thing.
As long as they have Luka, they got a shot.
This is the thing with Luka. Luka is in his own head. Okay, yeah. Luka you can provoke him, and now Luka is like dangerously close to being suspended during the playoffs. Like if he gets teed up,
right,
we're gonna have issues. So I think the memo's out on him. I think the word is out, and cats know they can get in his head.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what that's going to be like come playoff time this year. And can he get himself squared away between the ears? Because if he is right between the ears, what you said is 100% correct.
Right.
They got to but if not, he could be another team that just like when
I think is too, because right now they're slated to play the Clippers in the first round. Kawhi could be guy to get into his head.
There's the conundrum too, because now either one of those could bow down in the first round.
Both of them could. It could be like, oh God. If you get through it, you go, ugh.
Right. It's just,
or it could be like, wow.
Right.
You don't know what to make.
So that's gonna be that would be an interesting matchup if that works out.
I have no idea who's going to come out of the West.
I don't either.
The Lakers could be the one out there.
The Lakers,
or the Lakers can lose in the damn play-in tournament to get to the playoffs.
Right. If they get in, though, they could win at the bottom seed. They could.
They could be the 7th seed
still win.
Win it all.
Because if they're healthy, why would
they could lose both games
and never even
make the playoffs.
Right. It's just insane.
I don't know. It is interesting, and I'm going to be on there. But if Brooklyn has everybody together, I don't see anybody beating Brooklyn.
I don't. And to me, we talked about it before. You could do.
Even if the Lakers were healthy and had 3 versus 2 is going to win.
Even
every time.
to me, even if you just got, two of them, if you got Durant and Harden or Durant, any two of them, I think they still have that. They're still a threat.
Right.
You don't even need all three. Any combination of any combination of the three, and I think they still are a threat. Right. And the Lakers have proven they can't keep anybody healthy.
No.
So, and to me, that's the only and I will scream. I said it last year. That's the only reason they won.
Because they were healthy.
Because they could stay healthy. They got a fucking month off.
Right. So then everybody got healthy.
Yeah. And then they go into the playoff bubble.
Right.
And nobody was sore. No one was nothing. And they had nothing but basket. Dude, that was tailor-made for them. That was like a handed championship to me.
Even though it did take them 6 games.
Right, because they wouldn't have been there if it was a regular season.
And you had Miami versus the Lakers in a regular season. I think Miami wins that damn series.
Right, because they play all those other games. You don't get that time off. And dude, I don't know what's up with the brow, but everything on him is broken. His ankle, his groin, his back. Between the fucking ears.
He's
everything
always been hurt.
Dude, this guy.
Other than last year's playoffs, tell me when he's not been hurt.
And it was after a 30-day reprieve from the COVID where they weren't playing any games.
Yes. Well, it was like more than, I think I would say 3 months.
I think it was 30 days where they didn't do any basketball.
Okay, no practice, nothing.
No, nothing.
He just on there. Yeah, that's the only reason is because he got healthy.
Yeah.
Because, again, name me when he's ever been healthy in his pro career.
Right.
Never.
No, he hasn't.
He's always been hurt.
Right.
That's why New Orleans is basically saying, we'll take whatever you give us.
Right.
Yeah, we'll fleece you on there because we know in long term on there, this dude is going to be breaking down quick.
Yep.
Because he's always been breaking down.
Yep.
So, I don't. But if some hot reason they stay healthy for the playoff run, they can win the damn thing off.
Yep.
But they could basically also be the same damn team that loses basically to the 8th seed and then basically lose the winner of the 9-10 seed.
Right. It's such a crazy dynamic over there. I don't know.
Portland might be the one team and say, yeah, I mean, they're playing Denver in the first round. Go, crap. I mean, but if Dame gets Dame, dude, they're winning. Problem is he can get cold, and Denver's got Jokic, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's that's.
Let's say is maybe the winner of that series might be my choice to go to the damn least conference. At least
to the conference, to kind of get the upset there. Yeah, maybe be the. Who knows? But like I said, the West is going to be like the wild West, man. That's what it's going to be.
If Jamal Murray didn't get hurt, I'd almost say Denver might be my pick to win to come out of the West.
Sure, yeah. Yeah,
because you have the 2-1-2 punch.
Well, it's the same thing though, but for me, it's like the same thing that we've been talking about with some of these other teams. I don't know, is playoff Chris Paul gonna be enough for Phoenix? You know what I mean? So again,
playoff Chris Paul has been terrible.
Yeah, that's
every time.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter where he's at. So is that going to change all of a sudden? I don't know.
I don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm unsure at the top.
I'm not sure about.
That's why it feels so topsy turvy because you're talking about 8 seeds or play-ins that could win it all, and then you're talking about 1 seeds and you're like, well, I don't know what this guy's going
to do. Of Utah, Phoenix, the Clippers, and Denver and Portland, Utah might be the one.
Yeah,
they've been playing the most consistent ball all year long.
And there's no pressure on them.
There is no pressure.
We're not even in this rambling, babbling, whatever the hell you call this segment we just did. We didn't even really.
They play decent. They do play a little bit of defense under. You've got Gobert. You've got Donovan Mitchell. They might be the most consistent team out of the West because they've been there all season long, pretty much near the top or at the top on there. And you go, okay, how long is it going to last? And they just even if they fall out, well, they're back up. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, if it's again, hopefully it's a market team on there, people watching there. And again, you don't know what Golden State. I mean, Golden State is going to go as far as Steph carries them.
Yeah, if he stays hot like this, you never know. But I think at some point that runs out, right?
He's got to run out of gas.
I mean, yeah, it's just really, really hard to maintain that kind of that kind of anything. You know, it's just hard. I mean, a high percentage at those crazy shots. I mean, you see what he's doing, what he's always kind of done, and if anybody's gonna continue to do it, it's gonna be Steph, and he's gonna go down as the greatest shooter of all time. But it's just you always have that in the back of your mind, like you said, that like if you just go cold for a couple games,
Right.
it could be all over that quick.
We know one team that's not going to make it. That's Houston. You hear the general manager goes, "I feel excited about the future." Future of what?
Yeah, what future?
You got hosed in every trade you made. Your team is terrible.
That's why he's optimistic, because he's so dumb he doesn't even know that he doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't even know that he doesn't know. It's amazing.
Good news is locally, Sadek Bay is second in the league in three-pointers made by rookies on there to Anthony Towns from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
169 threes by Bay.
That's all.
Let's just not get screwed over in our damn lottery. You know what? Don't pick the behind the scenes. I want to see the balls right there live.
I know.
Because I don't buy it. I think it's bullshit.
I want, no one is going to get this reference outside of our little bubble, but I want like Aggie, Sudley, and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
I want
they can do the damn lottery on there.
I want the fucking ping pong balls coming up a fucking chute. I don't want you reaching in and grabbing the shit.
Balls out there. Okay, so
yeah, whatever.
You can fill it in with filler. I mean, what's it gonna take you, like a minute and a half?
Yeah.
You just go in there, thing, go boop 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 boop. Okay, those ones are out there. Oh, here's the next one.
I'm
not buying it unless I see it. I think it's bull. Unless we have the number one pick, I'm calling bullshit.
Bullshit. Well, it's one of those things, right? Like when you do these things so crazy, there's all kinds of room for people to be questioning you. So just be transparent. Even if everything you say, even if everything's on the up and up, just be transparent. Like there's no reason not to be. When you got all these people like screaming and yelling at you, just like show your fucking hand and let's keep it moving. Like, why does it matter? Yeah. You know? So I just don't think there's a whole lot of conspiracies like the. I heard some crazy one about because Matt. We'll get into the football stuff later, but that Belichick is trying to sabotage the Patriots on his way out the door, and I'm just like, yeah, they just gave him fame, fortune, and 20 years of full control of a franchise. Why? And he's just gonna fucking shit on him on his way out the door. Wouldn't it be better to leave a legacy that continues on beyond his time there? Wouldn't that be more advantageous to him? I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like it just seems like a dumb conspiracy. So, and but you open the doors to that stuff when you do this shit, right? We had the frozen envelope and all that other nonsense over the years. So why can't they just make it? I like the NFL's model. I think that model's perfect. You know what your draft pick's going to be based on?
Your record.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing. The NFL and the of all the teams out there that the first round draft picks are the most consistent. I mean, really, the NBA, it's only the first lottery, but it's really the first 10 picks.
All right.
Because you're kind of rolling the dice when you get later first round. NHL, it's like the first 5 picks, and you kind of roll the dice. Baseball, it's roll the dice on it. You get the number one pick overall, and you're rolling the dice.
Right.
NFL is in the on there. It's like, boom.
Yeah.
You can get on there, and I like the NFL draft. Of course, the draft is just wonderful because it's just like.
Well, yes.
It's like only the NFL can make a weekend extravaganza about draft picks.
Yeah, I know. People picking kids out of a lineup, basically.
And we're like, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I got the draft out.
Yeah.
First round, second and third round. Saturday, okay, I can go out and do shit, whatever. But if I'm sitting there eating my bologna sandwich, draft.
Yeah, well, we do the draft
2
special
hours
here.
later, you go, oh, I'm not going to get outside to cut the lawn.
We do the draft special here because in Michigan, it is in Detroit. It's our Super Bowl because our team's so freaking brutally bad. And they're doing it tonight. They're doing some primetime fucking thing for the schedule.
Yes.
That is insane. We will not pander that low yet.
No.
Yet.
So it is official. The schedule has been released.
Did they got it out here? So how about we
We'll take a
We'll
break
take a
and we'll
quick
get back.
one, and we'll do
Come
that.
back, and then we got some baseball going into it as well.
Yes.
And we'll be on there. So we got still lots more fun to talk about and everything to get all silly and goofy in that. We are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you love and life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast on Ultimate Underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a part. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390 or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
All right, copyright for us. Yeah. So we have just copywritten the greatest thing ever. We're gonna do drive-in sports. Come to Detroit. We'll come up with a field somewhere. We'll put a big screen up. We'll do drive-in sports events. Why is the drive-in movies more? What are we talking about? We got to get into football and baseball and all that. But me and Moose have other conversations during the break, and we got into the old drive-in. I love the drive-in movies. What do you guys think? Drive-in sports, should that be a thing? It used to be a thing where you go watch, like at Palace Vision, to watch playoff games in the stadium. What happened to that? All kinds of fun stuff on the table. Whatever you want to talk about, text lines open. Social media is there for you. Facebook, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, all that stuff. Studio57radio.com. And, hit us up in the text line, 313-307-5340. I'll throw it on the screen for you so you got it. We'd love to hear from you. You can go ahead and steer this ship as we get rolling. Moose, let's do this thing.
All right, here we're back for the second hour of DSR2. And again, a glorious Wednesday here. It felt like spring, fucking finally. I mean, I was able to wear shorts and a polo to watch my daughter play softball other than winter coat, fucking fleece-lined jeans, blankets, coffee with freaking Irish whiskey in it. Because it's so fucking
Yeah, I mean, geez Louise. And then Canada Mike's like, oh, it snowed here. I'm like, oh my God, it's so brutal. I'm just so done with it. I want some nice sunny weather. I need the
I think
melatonin
for the next 10
or whatever.
days we're getting it.
I hope so.
It's gonna be it's gonna be like low. It's gonna be 70 on Saturday, low 70s on Sunday.
Ooh, I might be low. I might be on the river. I brought my kayak down,
Okay.
and so if it hits the 70s, that's the
Go
threshold.
to Clinton or the
Yeah,
Huron.
either or. I went to Clinton last time because it's close.
Yeah.
So go for a
Yeah.
couple hours and
Yeah, you're gonna head out to Kensington, drop it in there, and do through Milford.
yeah.
That's
That's
always a
another
fun
good
time.
spot. Yeah, you go out. The other one I was thinking too is I can't remember where the heck it was at now. Damn, but it was like out in the the White Lake Township areas. You got all those lakes around there, and a bunch of them connect together with like little rivers and streams. And I was like, and there's parks there where you can launch, and I'm like, park and launch. I'm like, oh, dude, there's all kinds of stuff out here.
Oh, yeah.
And I hadn't really. I kind of lived in the hood. I didn't live in all them like richy neighborhoods over there. So I was like, when I was a kid, so I was like, oh, but I didn't live too far from there.
They're doing kayaks in the Rouge River, launching into Detroit River.
Oh
now,
yeah,
aren't
oh yeah. Well, kayaking and paddleboarding are a thing right now.
they? Yeah.
So
Of course,
people
I
are
mean,
really getting into
30
it.
years ago, you go into the Rouge River, your kayak's melting.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you're out there looking for some three-eyed Simpson fishes, you were good to go.
You're good to go. Now it's all cleaned up, but again, they launch out like you can canal like through the canals through Belle Isle now. They got that all cleaned up.
Oh, that's cool. I like going on some of it because this is the cool thing about Michigan, guys. If you're not familiar, there's a million lakes in this state. It's crazy. And some of these little inland lakes have islands and shit on them, and some of them are non-sporting where you can't take a regular boat, so you have to have paddle boats and canoes and kayaks and stuff like that to get around. And I just really enjoy all of those waterways and all those things. So I'm going to try to keep going and adding to my list of that stuff. So, but we got them right here, right here in the city, not far from where we're at. Like I said, I can just go right down the road and hit the Clinton River, and I don't even have to go far. I can just go north of Dodge Park there, and then come all the way down. I could get a buddy, and we could park down at the funeral home at 15 Mile Road, and then go way up to Hall Road. And just
launch right there. And go right all the way.
And go
right
all the way down.
to Lake St. Clair and turn around and come back.
Yeah. I mean, so you could, it's like right there. So it's like, it is kind of a cool thing. So that is one thing I'll be looking forward to in the summer. And what's cool as well is I've got the waterproof speaker. So my gimmick is to listen to baseball games and audiobooks and things like that while I'm floating out in nature. So that'll be how I'll be absorbing my sports this summer when we take our break, of course. But because we will ultimately get to where there's just baseball going on, and you'll have the crazy schedule, and there won't be much going on. So we'll take that little bit of break if you guys are new to the format. Excuse me. We do the midsummer spectacular. We get kind of caught up on things, and we'll be announcing that. But I'm not even sure. Everything's off. We've been so off with our schedule here, Moose, because sporting world has been upside down and crazy. Yeah. I mean, right now, what would we be normally doing on a non-COVID year on this date in the sports world?
It'd be all about playoffs.
Are we still in the playoff situation now? Where's baseball at? Would we still?
Baseball would be we'd be like about a month and a half, so you would just start seeing what's going on in baseball wise. Talk about who's the hot batter and everything with it, who's on pace, whatever. We get ridiculous about who's on pace to break Babe Ruth's record and everything with it.
Didn't the NBA? So the NBA is the one that's bumped a couple of weeks at least, right?
The NBA is
they're
about 2.5 weeks behind on it. We would probably be in the end of the first round, early second round of the playoffs on there.
Right.
NHL, we would probably be this late on there. We would definitely be in the second. We would be late in the second round. Might even start the conference finals pretty quickly.
Right. So depending on how they
usually conference finals are right around Memorial Weekend. So we'd be in the second round. and we haven't even started. So again, playoffs are going to be going all the way till probably end of June at the on there and see what happens.
All right.
And then what's weird with basketball is you know, are we going to get cats going to go over to play in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Is
I
there
don't
even
know.
going to be
an
an
Olympics? I don't think there probably should be this year.
There probably shouldn't be, but they're going to go
Yeah,
forward
it's,
on there with it.
I'm willing to bet they are as well.
So we'll have to see what happens there. But again, if I'm an NBA player, I'm like, I may opt out. I may not want to go over there.
I wouldn't. I mean, I know you. It's easy for me to say because I didn't train my entire life for one event. But I just don't see how.
Especially if I played in, and I just again went to the NBA Finals, and I've got to get ready, and we're going in, 2 weeks to get ready to go over to Tokyo.
Right.
Dude, my body needs to recover. If I'm LeBron James, there ain't no way I'm playing.
Yeah, no. Well, no, especially a guy like LeBron, who's been there already, and he's got limited time. He's only got so many miles left on that body.
Right.
And,
He's already won a gold medal with that. He's already
right.
won multiple gold medals. What else is there to do?
Yeah, I just don't see why it'd behoove him to go there at all. I mean, if I'm him, I'm not going anywhere.
No, if my team didn't make the playoffs and that, I got a chance to play in the Olympics, maybe I'll go. But if I'm playing in the playoffs and I'm playing late, dude, my body needs to recover.
Yeah, I may not do either way. I might not go either way for me because like I said, with the pandemic situation and who knows what's going to happen with trying to get there and back and everything else and dealing with the games themselves and all these other stuff going on in a foreign country. Like it just seems like a lot to do when you've kind of already been there and done that. So for a guy like LeBron, he's a unicorn, right? So it's not like most people, but so I think most people that train for the Olympics, if they say it's going down, they're going, they're going, and that's why I think it'll happen. For me, like I said, it's easy for me to say because I didn't train my whole life for basically one giant event that culminates to my entire career. I mean,
right.
It's like I'm not going to the Super Bowl because it's whatever, some dumb reason. I use arbitrary reason. No, you're going.
Right.
You don't care. Like if they decide they were gonna have a Super Bowl in the UK and your team went, you're like, I'm not going. Bullshit. Right. You're going.
Right.
Yeah. That's bullshit. So it's that kind of thing. So I just feel like if they have, they're gonna have it, and these cats would go, but LeBron would probably be the unicorn in that situation. But it's going to be a weird sports layout. Like I said, it just feels weird. It's off. It's kind of goofy. It's whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see how it kind of plays out. It's just weird thinking we're going to go into June, potentially 4th of July, right? You're looking at the end of June, and then and then all of a sudden, boom, it's 4th of July,
and then they got the Olympics are starting the end of July.
All right.
It's like, like this year, I'm not going to even be here to watch the All-Star game because I'll be in Kentucky because we got softball tournament, the Nationals. So we're going to be there all week.
Oh, right.
So again, hopefully we're not playing. I'll give it honor, but it's like I said, days we don't have games or times we don't have games, it's distillery tours.
Right.
But I got to get the schedule and see where we're going, so I can plan my schedule around that because I'm coming back with bourbon.
Lots of bourbon.
Lots of bourbon. Barrel-proof, cast-strength bourbon. So we got the NFL announcer schedule on there. Here it is the top 10 teams with the hardest schedules. Steelers are number 1. They're basically their opponents have a winning percentage of .574. Ravens are number 2 with a .563. Then the Bears at .550. Packers, Vikings, Bengals. The Bengals and the Lions, who both teams we sucked, and we had the 5th and 7th pick under are tied for 6th for
hardest
schedules. Then the Raiders, Browns, and Rams. Easiest schedules. Eagles, their opponents have a winning percentage of .430, but then again they play in the East, so everybody in the East last year sucked. So that's kind of on there. Cowboys, Falcons, and of course the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers have the 4th easiest schedule in the NFL.
Not even fair.
Bills are. Then we got Dolphins, Broncos, Panthers, Giants, Colts, and the Bills.
The conspiracy continues. The Tom Brady conspiracy continues.
Yes, bastards.
I don't understand how you can win the Super Bowl and then have like the 4th easiest schedule.
You should automatically have the hardest schedule.
Yeah.
You won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that.
It depends on who they're slated to play the other division on there in the NFC and the AFC. So
Sure.
if they're playing like the South and the AFC, yeah, they're going to have an easy schedule. If they're playing the East and the NFC, yeah, then thus they're going to have an easy schedule.
Yeah, right.
But the Lions, again, the Bears, the Vikings, the Packers all had, winning schedules. So thus that's skewed. Plus we play the West and the NFC. So every team had a winning schedule.
All right.
So we get screwed. And I'm not sure who we're playing in the AFC this year. I think we're playing the North.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, here we got the schedule, like our own Lions schedule. Let's get to that.
Okay, breaking down the local schedule.
They basically took screenshots and like Philly's got it. Like you can barely even read theirs. I mean, Jesus.
Well, they don't have it all like on an NFL website where you can just see it all.
The NFL.com.
Because there's got to be some kind of centralized location for all
Yes.
these fucking.
I was looking at
Excuse my
CBS and they
language.
just kind of.
Yeah, no, don't let. Yeah, but I mean, it's just I don't understand how. But you're right. I guess.
See your team schedule. First thing on there on
Yeah,
NFL.
yeah. That's where it's at. The NFL. You go right to the horse's mouth, Mister.
Yes. So we got week 1 and everything with it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know that like a bunch of regional stuff got leaked out, but you can just go right to NFL and get it all.
We could do team schedule. So let's go break down for our Lions schedule, NFC North schedule.
It's gonna be rough.
And again, the rumor was that they were going to face the Rams on Monday night, like the second game of the doubleheader on there, and that got on it. And we thought, oh, it's perfect on it because we're supposed to play the NFC West. And
Right.
on there, week 1, nope, we play Frisco.
Yeah.
Frisco's not going to have Jimmy G, or not going to have Trey Lance start for his game. So we got week 1. Let's see, the Lions face Frisco at home. Week 2, of course, it's a Monday night game. We got it Monday night. We're at Green Bay.
Is it gonna be Aaron Rodgers or what's his name?
We don't know yet because
that could
Aaron
be
Rodgers
interesting.
says, I'm not playing. And then, of course, they're saying, oh, we're going to get, there's some rumors out there working on an extension and that, but I don't know if he wants to play with them anymore. I think he may just be so pissed off, it's like, screw it.
Well, I agree that he doesn't like the whole ownership scenario. He doesn't have ownership that he can go to per se. And
But they're going to offer him obscene
And he doesn't-
amounts of money.
well, I think that's what it is, to be honest with you. I think he wants a super huge contract, and I think he wants say in player personnel. And if he doesn't get that, he's got options. So the real story will be when he, if they don't, there's no way it would take. What did Peter King say? Peter King said it would take an earthquake to make them move Rodgers.
Right. Or he may
So-
not be happy enough and just say, I'm retiring, I'm getting my Jeopardy gig, and I'm done.
Well,
And if that's the case, then you got Jordan Love starting, or Blake Bortles, because they just signed him today.
no, he's just a warm body to take snaps because Aaron Rodgers is not going to come. When it's going to really be a thing is when you get to camp and all that stuff.
Yes, because he's
I don't
not going to
think
be
they're
there
gonna
for
try to-
OTAs or any of that.
No.
And again, if he does retire on there, Devontae Adams, his contract is up after this season. So he may say, I'm out.
I mean, unless Homeboy is like the second coming or whatever.
Yeah.
And they happen to hit on 3 quarterbacks in a row in history.
Fuckers.
That would be insane.
Yeah, back to back to back.
That would be nuts. I don't think that they will, but not on the.
I'd be
Not like
I'd be
that.
checking on somebody, man. Somebody sold his soul to the devil.
Well, who? Because it's owned by the people, right?
Yeah. The whole town of Green Bay is all going to hell.
Yeah. Well,
You're all going to hell.
aren't they already there?
Well, it is Green Bay.
Yeah, man.
But again, I heard they are one of the nicest fan bases to go get on there if you're an opposing team to tailgate because they will just here, have a beer, have a brat, have some hot chicken broth when it's cold out.
They will definitely,
Yes, Philly, you just have to basically like, okay, you better watch out. Somebody's going to try to shiv you, so you better just knife the first fucker there.
Yeah, just don't wear opposing gear. Just don't ever wear the opposing team's gear when you're in places like that.
Philly. Or you just say, you know what?
Philly, Ohio State.
You just grab the biggest guy out there and just shiv him right then and there.
Yeah.
Bring it!
Yeah, you have to be crazy. There's a super level of you got to be crazier than the craziest guy in the room. That's what I always love. I mastered that, and when I was a rapper and on the rap scene, it worked out great. So I'm surrounded by gangsters, and then this little white guy comes in, and he's the craziest one of them all, and everybody's like, "Uh-oh, here he goes again," and they're like, "Wait a minute, here he goes again." Oh shit! Like I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'm out of here. So like,
well, that was like the old days on here with Mike Shanahan when he was coaching Denver, and he go to Oakland. He goes, I got hit in the head with a frickin' C battery. Back in the day, he goes, I'm bleeding in the back, and he goes, I wasn't even going to turn around and give him the frickin' acknowledgement. Yes, he fucking hit me.
He no-sold it. That's amazing.
He got shit on there. So, yeah, the Lions got the Ravens the following week at home, at the Bears, Minnesota. Let's see, who do we play for? Rams, we play at the Rams on a Sunday afternoon. So, that's on...
Wait, so what are the first ones again? Say it again.
The Rams, October 24th at LA.
That's when we get
the Rams.
The Rams finally.
We got the Bengals at Sunday, the 17th at home. On there.
Might be able to steal that one.
The AFC North. Who do we play Thanksgiving? The Bears.
The
tired
Bears.
Of playing the Bears on Thanksgiving.
What's their quarterback situation going to be?
By week 12, it probably will be Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Really? You think Andy Dalton's going to make it that far?
No, I don't think he is.
So let's see here. Our last game is, of course, Green Bay at home. Week 18.
Interesting. So how many, as currently constructed, how many possible victories? There's not too many. I mean, I guess against the Bengals, you might be able to.
I don't even know if they'll beat the Bengals.
I don't know if you can beat them, but I mean, at least you got a game there. You just don't have.
Maybe the Bears week 4 because again, I'm not unless Justin Fields. I mean, I'm not buying it. I don't think Andy Dalton's going to beat us.
Sure.
Bengals. I think we might lose the Rams. We'll lose a Philly on the Halloween day. Maybe. I mean, I don't think we'll beat Pittsburgh. Cleveland, I definitely don't think we're going to beat.
Nope.
Bears at home on Thanksgiving. Maybe that's a toss-up. We got the Broncos in December.
Okay, there you go. Maybe.
Atlanta,
unless they get Aaron.
Atlanta in December. Yeah, we're not going to beat Seattle at Seattle.
No.
We're not going to beat Arizona at home.
No.
We're not going to beat Green Bay at home. We're going to probably win 4 to 5 games tops.
Yeah, at tops.
But you know what?
I'm thinking 3 or 4.
As bad as this team might, our record
that's fine. Though.
I think the team might actually look better on paper. Might look better in person watching them. They're going to lose a lot of games under.
Right.
But we're going to see is this team's playing better.
Yeah, I would assume that they would just not look so disjointed and messed up because.
They have faith. I mean, the coordinators. I have faith in on there.
We're going to find out. Yeah, we're going to find out.
Even though Akuda says this versus last year, he goes, it's night and day.
Oh, it better be.
He says, it's, oh my God. He goes, yeah, it's night and day difference. He goes, it's like everything. He goes, like the lights clicking on. Oh, yeah, I can do this and that. And they're just said. Plus, I think Aaron Glenn being a defensive back in the corner, I think he's going to really guide the defensive back corner. And again, we want to be terrible next year. We want to be getting that top 3 pick. Mm-hmm. That way we can get our quarterback. And because we're going to get a late first round pick because we got the Rams in that on there. Maybe we want to see Aaron Donald get hurt. I wish it on there, but I wouldn't mind it if he's hurt down there. Good. Then they're going to suck a little bit more. If he gets hurt and Stafford gets hurt, wow, 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think we can. We're going to be bad, and we're going to end up with a top pick, and that's kind of how you're going to rebuild anyway. And they've already proven, at this point at least, that they're willing to go and get draft capital. And I think that's just a big part of it. So if they're willing to get draft capital and they're going to end up with a high pick again, we know that we need them to do that for a couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
For a rebuild.
And,
so
the story is today, like they called up when Atlanta was on the clock and said, "Are you taking who you want?" Yeah. Okay, we're gonna stick to what our plan was. Okay, good luck. Because I guess Fontenot and Campbell knew each other when they were both with New Orleans. And they says, this, when they try to trade up and they says, "No, we're taking Pitts or whatever." And they just made a phone call and said, "We're getting offers. Are you trying to figure out what's the feel on there?" "Yep, we're still taking the guy we talked about." "Okay, cool." So they figured Pitts is gone. That means Chase, and we'll see what everybody else happens. When they seen Chase and Waddle went, they knew they were taking Sewell.
that's cool. Yeah, they were excited.
So, I mean, if somebody else took Sewell, I think they would have traded back and gone for a different route in it.
Right.
But with Sewell being there, yeah, unless you're coming with multiple first-rounders, we're taking Sewell.
Yeah. Well, and it's, to me, I guess that's the smart way to play it. We talk about it here all the time.
It's not sexy. It's not sizzle.
No,
it's steak.
It's steak, baby. I don't want the sizzle no more. I'm done with that.
I want this-
You're not in a position to do that.
No.
You do all that stuff. You get all that the cool little extras.
After you build the trenches.
Yeah,
When you got
absolutely.
a defensive line and an offensive line.
Keep doing this shit backwards for decades.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens on there. Our receiving core is not that. I'm not thrilled about it.
Oh no, it's horrid. But if he can, this is my whole thing. If Goff can kind of make do with what he's got, and they're as bad as we kind of expect.
I think
them
the
to be,
running game's going to be actually pretty decent.
It could be decent. It could be the bright spot. I mean, and like I said,
But I
Goff.
think
Can,
the offensive line's going to be much better.
I think if they can keep Goff upright, then he'll, he'll make the best of what they got, and that's kind of just what they got to do right now. And I'm not really worried about it. Like I said, I want to get another top pick. I want to get a bunch of draft capital because there's so many holes, and they could really do something here because
So-
dude, you really could do so.
You're going to possibly
ahead,
get
Tank.
3 third-rounders because of compensatory picks.
Right.
You're going to get a third-rounder for Galladay, probably.
Well, and you're going to be able to package these up and move around in the
Right.
draft, and you're going to be able to do a lot of cool, fun shit. So to me, I think we'll see. We'll see how they do it.
Yeah.
Right now, so far, they're doing what I would like them to do, but we've seen the story before. So we'll find out.
So let's see here. They even got it broken down. Here it is, the Thursday night games.
Okay.
Wow, they're not even doing. Well, week 1 we know is Tampa and Dallas. That's a Sunday. That's actually the Sunday night game.
Okay, now what's the most interesting part of that game? Is it Brady coming back with that team that way to come for another championship, or is it what's going on with Dallas? Dak's back from the injury, and
I think it's going to be the interesting plot line on there. Most probably on there is to see how Dak looks and how that Dallas looks because they didn't do anything to address the offensive line really.
well, and to me I think that's more of a story too, just because if you have a team that brings back every single starter, I think we kind of know what to expect.
Right, because there's already that chemistry already built into it. So
Right.
And trust me, I mean Brady's probably going to get everybody. They said he's probably going to grab Trask there and say, just come with me and I'm going to teach you how, basically work on throwing the ball all season because he's supposed to be the heir apparent. So we'll see
Right.
on it. But that's to be interesting because there's not even a Thursday night game slated for the first game of the year. They're doing it on. Oh, it is Thursday. That's basically it because they got Sunday Night Football, but Thursday. So yeah, and then the other game on there of the first week on there, we got Bears at the Rams. I think the Bears are gonna be terrible.
Yeah, I don't have high expectations for them.
You
The
know-
way they dropped off the map, and what did they do to really improve their situation? It doesn't feel like they've done anything, and they won 5 games early and then just shit the
and
bed last year.
They did, and then again, I don't have. And people think, oh, we're gonna rue the day that we did again. Look at Chicago. Justin Fields is gonna haunt us. Tell me again. Name me a quarterback that Chicago has ever developed that scared us.
Dude,
Hey,
they can't even. They haven't been able to find a quarterback forever. They're like the Broncos,
Right.
other than falling into old Peyton Manning.
I mean, again, they haven't had a quarterback. I mean, an offensive juggernaut quarterback in my lifetime. Even when they had Jim McMahon, who had a great college career throwing the ball at BYU, but he was basically hand the ball off, occasionally throw it downfield because they won with running it and defense. They've never had a good quarterback.
No, nope.
So
Even that last run for a Super Bowl with Lovey, they had.
Well, Grossman was in the Super Bowl, but it was Kyle Orton that got him to the Super Bowl.
They had to play 2 different quarterbacks, and neither one of them were impressive, per se.
No. So I'm not worried about that. Week 2, we said that Kansas City at the Rams on week 2. 3, Green Bay at Frisco. That'll be interesting on there. Week 4, Tampa versus the Patriots.
Nice. And guess who's back and highly involved in the operations, signing contracts, and doing negotiations over there in New England? Just give me one guess.
Matt Patricia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was out there. On it.
That's amazing.
Week 5 will be the game of the year, probably Buffalo at Kansas City.
Oh, I'll be excited. I mean, from what you've already kind of thrown, because we usually, okay, guys, if you guys are new, we go through the schedule, we look at some of these notable games. Of course, we break down the Lions, but I was waiting for you to get to a juicy one. That one, I think, is going to be that's
a Sunday night game I'm going to be watching.
Yeah, that's going to be a good matchup. That's one of those games where you get all your stuff together and you don't.
That's at the end of the day. Maybe I just skip on some of the afternoon games on there because I got to get primed up because this is the prime time game I want to watch. Week 6 is Seattle at the Steelers. Speaking of Seattle, see DK Metcalf finished 9th in the Olympic trials for the 100.
That's insane. Fast
10.37 at 6'3", 2 1/4.
Yeah.
All these other cats are like 5'10", $190, and here he is.
Imagine if he actually learned how to run.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And trained for a year.
Right. Because, like, football running and running behind your pads and doing all that shit is not running.
No.
It's different. So imagine if he ran like a runner. A runner trains and spends a lot of years perfecting their technique.
Right.
Us as laymen don't get it.
Sheer athletic ability. Right. What he did. He ran a 10.37.
Right. Yeah, just on sheer balls, really.
Well, we saw what he did in that Sunday night game when he basically got, Buda Baker's got it, pick 6. I was like,
I know.
He's like looking, going, what the fuck? He's looking up at the thing, going, fuck! I gotta run.
Well, it's funny because
again, he's not slow. No. Buda Baker is fast.
Yeah,
But he's got this guy going. He's looking at the big Megatron, going, "Holy fuck! Am I gonna get it?"
Well, it's funny because you watch it. It's like a Disney movie, right? Where they speed up the one guy to make him look like he's got. It doesn't even look real when you watch that video. It looks like a.
So yeah, you got that on. That'd be interesting. I'm not sure what to make out of Pittsburgh either.
You know what? Pittsburgh's going to be Pittsburgh. What has Pittsburgh ever done but win?
Yeah.
Now we're going to have a goofy schedule next year. They're going to be 10-7 or whatever, but that's what they'll be. They'll be 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're gonna win enough games to get to playoffs.
They'll get to the playoffs. They probably won't win their division.
No, they'll get to the playoffs, but they may win a game if they're healthy and everybody's playing well. But they're gonna do what they do.
Yeah.
They're going to win some regular season games. And, like I said, they're like always perpetually, we always talk about it used to be 6-10 or 10-6, right? But they're always the 10-6 team, it feels like, or better.
Okay, so Dallas has got like 2 Sunday night games, or 3 Sunday night games. They were terrible.
It's the Jerry effect. I don't know why
It's because America. I mean, it's just all the hype.
I don't know why people are always on the when have the Cowboys been like main event worthy, for lack of a better way to phrase it?
Probably was Dak's rookie year.
That you think that was a team that was should be, you know,
they should have been on there. Of course, that was the year too. They ended up playing the Rams in the playoffs, and the Rams said they ran for like 200 something yards on them. But I mean, other than that, 1995.
To me, this team has not been.
They're not worthy of getting 3 Sunday night games. There's no way.
This team hasn't been must-watch TV in 25 years.
Yeah, 1990. Again, that was right on. I said 1995, pretty much right on the money.
So to me, they just haven't been must see for 25 years. So why are they now getting? Guess what what have they been? What was their record last year, Moose? Just go. Can you go to the Dallas page? Let's go down their record over the last year, because I don't even need to look at it.
They were 6-11 last year.
Okay, and what were the year before that? What, 8-8? What were they the year before that? 8-8. What were they? 9-7. What were they? 7-9.
I think they were 10-6 because they didn't make the playoffs on there. But they again.
I mean, give me a fucking break, dude. I'm sick of this shit, dude. They're fucking. I'm starting to swear. They are a 500 team.
Yeah.
They're a 500 team, and we put them on like it's Tyson in his heyday.
Right.
Why are we putting these cats on like that?
Right.
I don't get it.
I don't understand either. Again,
and who are they playing that you're showcasing otherwise?
Well, again, right now is again Halloween night. They've got the Vikings at Minnesota.
Oh, okay, whatever. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Then we got Titans at the Rams. Again, there's a team that's going to take a drop down. Is the Tennessee, because again, cats that run for 2,000 yards, and next year they take a fall off.
Yeah, well, the league, it's hard to run.
It's hard to run for on it again. I think on it. Kansas City at the Raiders Raiders on Sunday night game, whatever. Pittsburgh at the Chargers. That actually might be an interesting one to watch. Buffalo at the Saints on there. Again, I think the Saints are going to be. I'm not sure I don't think they're going to be very good.
I don't either. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how good.
Then we got.
Sean Payton is, but
yeah, Cleveland gets one freaking Sunday night game, and they went to the Browns Ravens on was it November 28th on there, December 5th we got Frisco and the Seahawks. Frisco multiple Sunday night games on there as well. But again, I think Frisco was the injury last year with it, so I think they're going to bounce back on there. Bears at the Packers on there. I think the Bears are going to be garbage this year.
Yeah.
And then we got the Saints at the Buccaneers, and then we got Washington at the Cowboys, day after Christmas, and then the day after New Year's we got Minnesota at Green Bay. But then there's no Week 18 game, so there's Sunday night.
Gotcha.
And then Monday night. What's going to be? Is there going to be? I'm just going to say, is there going to be a Monday night game worth watching? Other local wise, we got the Lions at Green Bay, second week of the year. Again, wow, Cowboys got a Monday night game. Woo, there's a shocker.
So we got 5 national games
plus the Thanksgiving game.
So they got 6. Wow, that's insane. I mean, that's a third of their schedule. Yeah. Over a third of their schedule is on prime time, a standalone TV. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, does Jerry have
photos
like with the goats and shit? Like, what's going on here? Is he giving fellatio to the right person? I mean,
of the Monday night games, the best one on there, really to watch on that, is Week 13, New England at Buffalo.
Why? New England's going to be terrible.
Oh, just maybe see Buffalo put a beat down on them.
I mean, yeah, but I want to see a good...
Or the last Monday night is Browns at the Pittsburgh.
Well, there you go. You got a rivalry match, 2 decent teams. Yeah, I'd rather see that than barring an injury. I'm looking about what.
There's really, I mean, even Buffalo at Tennessee. I think Tennessee takes a step back. There's really not a Monday night game. I mean, really, I'll watch because the Lions on there, but I'll watch that. But yeah, there's not a whole lot I'm going to stay up and watch for Monday night. So
ESPN still covering them games? Do we still get Booger in a tree fucking stand?
no, we got
Jesus, that stuff was brutal.
who was last?
When you got a grown man still walking around with his elementary school nickname, trapped in a tree blind, holding a microphone, you just don't have it figured out. Just don't.
No, they got a new crew doing Monday night. I want to say is.
I hope so. I mean, that was a big. I don't want to say it's a big part because it's been the matchups too, but between those two things, it's been the Monday night games. Not quite
It's the
as
same
good.
crew as last year. Was Levy, Brian Greasy, and Lewis Riddick, which was an improvement over the Booger and
Yeah, you're
Tessitore.
right. Yeah, you're right. I like Riddick, but that's about it.
I don't care for Levy. Brian Greasy wasn't bad. I mean, if you could get a better play by, again, give Mike Tirico a Brinks
Yeah.
truck full of cash and say,
Sure.
there'll be one here every week.
Yeah,
Just come back.
they don't pay talent there, man.
No, because they just let go Kenny Mayne.
Did
But
they?
guess who they re-signed?
Hmm.
Berman.
What? They brought fucking Steve Berman back or whatever?
Chris Berman.
Chris Berman,
back
I'm
to
sorry?
do, Monday Night Raw, whatever.
NFL Countdown?
NFL, prime time.
Prime time, that's what it was, yeah. Get out
Reports
of here.
Chris Berman, but they let Kenny Mayne go, and Wingo's gone, and Golick is gone. Other than
Jeez.
Van Pelt, you're garbage.
Yeah, SVG, yeah, Scoundrel Belt. He's the only one
Again,
that they got.
back up a Brinks truck with frickin' Mike Tirico and say, there'll be one here every week. Please come home.
Yeah, that ain't gonna
Because I think Monday night, I think after this year, I think Al Michaels' contract runs out at NBC, and I think that's why they got Tirico already in the fold to take over.
Yeah.
Because Tirico can call pretty much everything.
Yes, he pretty much has.
He has.
And yeah, he's good.
He's
He is
a
very
pro.
Good. Yep.
Him and Nance are pros.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, very good. Very, very good. So, all right, well.
So we got some baseball on here going as well. Oakland's asking MLB, if we can't get this new stadium, if we don't get this new stadium pass on there, we want to move.
Dude, is Oakland Oakland's not gonna have anything. Everybody's leaving.
First of all, the Coliseum's a fucking
Well,
dump.
that's the whole fucking problem.
It's been a dump for 40 years.
That's why they can't be a viable, profitable entity with that building there.
No, they needed basically is get a new stadium on there, and of course, who now that is they're talking is like Vegas wants them. I don't know if baseball's quite ready to let a team go to Vegas under because they've got that whole gambling you bet and everything on it. So I don't know if
they should go to they should go to San Jose, but there's some kind of issue
with the Giants.
Yes, the Giants have the
won't allow
regional
them to
right.
have
Yeah,
it.
and if they don't sign off on that, they can't go there.
Right.
But San Jose would be the best place for
San
them.
Jose would be a great place on there. Maybe go up to Portland on there because Portland's a large, or Indianapolis.
You're not gonna
I
go
don't
to
know if they I don't think they
Montreal.
can make on there. I get Montreal. Wow, that'd be great.
That would be great. I just don't think they're going to do
No,
it.
I don't think they could do that. I think they're going to just try to do an expansion and just expand it out back to Canada on that.
Right.
But I think Portland would be a nice option too. I think on there, if you want to keep them out in the West and that, they are the largest city with only one sports team.
Sure.
So then on there, but again, I would love to see them stay in Oakland, but they got to get a new stadium deal. Oakland's lost the Raiders. They've lost the Warriors because the Warriors are now in Frisco.
Right.
And now they're going to lose the A's.
Yeah. Well, they don't have anything. It's the A's the only thing in town.
Yeah.
At a pro level like that. So yeah, that's a mess. But at some point MLB's got to step in and figure this thing out. I mean, this can't just be kind of like all over the place. They got to just come up with a plan here. I think why can't they make a deal with the Giants and say, "Hey, look,
Well, the ownership of the Giants has been a throwing it. They don't even have a local radio deal because the Giants kind of have the rights on that too.
Yeah, there should be.
Who, and it was all part because the Giants were going to move to Tampa in the late 80s. They were going to pull out of Frisco and go to Tampa. That was had a deal on that. And they said, well, you stay here, we'll give you, basically they gave them the freaking farm to stay in Frisco.
Well, the farm is a shithole now.
Yes.
So, interesting.
7 Yankees on there with their coaches in it have got COVID.
Yeah, so games are going to be off the hook. Well, we talked about how we're playing makeup games in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
Baseball is going to have a bunch of them, too. Or they're just going to have to go by winning percentage.
Yes.
Because you have an outbreak like that. It was like 7 coaches or something like that, or 9 coaches or something.
Something like ridiculous.
I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, they got the 7 COVID positives on the staff. Good news is most of the players have all gotten their second vaccination shot, so they're all vaccinated.
Oh, that is a good thing.
Torres, they said they're gonna. Who's been vaccinated is being held out as precautionary. So, but
okay.
yeah, but I think all the players have gotten their vaccination shots, so they're all. I think the Tigers are one of the few teams that the whole team's been vaccinated.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, because in here they needed to put shots on arms, so at one point.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
I mean, I've gotten both shots.
I've been vaccinated since like
4 weeks,
February or March, actually.
Yeah, I'm like going into my 3rd week, so tomorrow will be officially 30 weeks. So good. And my both kids, the son's already got it. He got the Johnson, and the daughters both got the Pfizer, the first shot, so they'll be fully vaccinated.
Well, they open it up for younger kids now too. So
12 to 15 effective officially tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you're 12 to 15, you can get shot.
So she's got to book her son, but my girlie, she got her first one, so she got her second one coming up soon, I think. And then most of us at my job are vaccinated. A couple guys didn't, but most everybody went and got it and is done already or just finished up. There's 2-week gestation period. So yeah, so that's what's going to be cool though, because now you're going to see the return of people to stadiums here soon.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. I know Canada Mike doesn't want to hear this, but there is light at the end of the tunnel now. I mean,
finally.
I know you can't see it and there's still stuff kind of in the way, but it's there. It's a little bit of a longer tunnel than we still want yet, but it's there and you can see it, and you'll start seeing it in the sports soon, because I think baseball for sure is going to have full stadiums come their playoff time.
Yes, because hopefully we hit that plateau where we got 70% vaccinated.
Well, you can go fill a stadium right now in Dallas. What are you talking about? I mean,
I know you do, but you're not. You should. I wouldn't go personally.
Well,
right
but you can, and they have been.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
It doesn't mean that they're not.
I know they are.
Okay, then that's my point.
Certain states on there just don't believe in science.
Well, right. Well, so do all kinds of certain people, including people in baseball. Like I'm telling you, they'll go. If we can get the gate, we get some money, we'll go. Come on now.
Poor Jacob deGrom, his ERA of .68, and I think he's barely a 500 pitcher.
Well, let's go to the flip side of that. Fucking Ohtani.
Dude.
That guy's an animal. They just do whatever they want with him. I'll just pitch the whole damn game. Then I'll go out and I'll run bases.
I'll pitch 6-7 innings. I'm going to go play it right.
Yeah. It's like.
Freaking nature. There's the unicorn.
Yeah, right now.
He was the last pitcher, I'm the last guy to be that good to play multiple positions and hit home runs like that and pitch like that. You have to go back over 100 years. It's called Babe Ruth.
That's crazy talk. Yep.
Ohtani.
Now
we get to see him when I'm fully healthy. You go, Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a guy I'd pay to go see.
Yeah.
Especially if he's pitching and hitting. And then, I'm pitching 7. Now I'm going to go play right field.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll pay to go see that.
It's just so crazy. It's yeah, no, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, and I'm not the hugest baseball fan out there. I don't follow it as much. It's mainly because there's so many games, right? So like, and I think that's why it becomes a regional sport, because just keeping up with your team, that's a lot of games to watch. And so keeping up with like multiple teams it's even tougher. But that guy, you got to must see TV.
Yes.
So seek him out.
Yes.
You know.
Good news is the Astro minor leaguers are going to get furnished housing for the whole season paid for by the Astro organization.
Okay.
So,
Well, do other teams do that?
I don't think so. I think they have to they'll give them like a certain per diem or whatever to figure it out, but each guy will get his own 1-bedroom apartment for the whole season. So,
Oh. Okay.
usually, you're probably roomed up with a guy, or
Right,
whatever, but
right.
they're getting their own. So,
Okay. Because of the COVID.
because of the COVID. So
That's the same thing. Like with my day job, like when we were driving and doing our deliveries and doing whatever, you partner up. You'd have then it was like, no, everybody's got to have their own truck. So then you had your own truck. So it's just the same kind of thing. You just get your own space. It's the same thing. We ordered our tickets to the movie theater, and you get your own little area. And then same thing here. If you go to one of these events in Florida or some of these other ones, they're still putting them in pockets. All right. There'll be vaccinated people here. There'll be non-vaccinated people over here with masks or whatever, and they'll put them in little groups of, like, you can order your tickets in groups, and they'll put those in little pods of their own and try to keep everybody distanced the best they can. So that's the tricks that they're doing now. So, but you'll start slowly seeing all this stuff fill up. So I'll tell you what, as much as I don't think we talk about it, I don't think it's a great idea, obviously, to have a bunch of people in the stadiums and stuff like that. It will be nice to see, and hear crowds.
yes,
the pumped in audio, or the pumped in noise was cool for a little bit, but now it's just like, I'm over it. I'd love to hear actual crowd noise. So sooner than later, we're getting closer.
let's see here. Here's a story just breaking. Hold on here.
Is it breaking or just sprained?
No, it came out. Two Los Angeles County firefighters could be fired. Third suspended after some first responders took and shared graphic photos from the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash.
Oh, yuck. Why would you do that? Like, they're not going to find out who did that shit.
I know somebody that basically says he got a hold of the leak autopsy on there.
Uh-huh.
It was just for Kobe. He goes, yeah, they could not. He says, I didn't want to see, like, for Gigi. He goes,
No.
I wasn't going to read it.
Yeah.
He says, it was gruesome.
Oh, I bet. It was a fucking helicopter crash.
Yeah, it
or
was
whatever.
basically, it was not. Kobe wasn't intact.
No. It's what did you expect?
Yes.
It's a helicopter crash.
Yes. It's like basically, he says it was equivalent on, and he goes, I know somebody worked on for the police department when we had that flight 255 going out of Metro. He says, and he says, yeah, there was guys there picking up parts for a week.
Yeah.
And he says, it was. He goes, I read the report. He goes, thank God I didn't want to see the photos.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want
And
to
he
see
says
that.
for GG, he goes, no way, I was not watching. I was not going to read that at all.
No, that's too much emotion to deal with, especially with all the stuff that, like, over the last year plus that we've been dealing with from a mental health standpoint. The last thing you need to do is subject yourself to something like that. Jesus.
Them breaking the ties with Nike.
Who is?
The Kobe Bryant estate. Yeah,
Yeah.
they cut ties with Nike.
Interesting.
She was not happy with them, basically how they handled everything, his post-retirement, and especially after. She was like, "No, we're contract's up, we're done."
Interesting. Now, what do they do then? I mean,
I don't know what they'll do.
I mean, do they have other suitors?
There's
I mean,
probably other suitors out there.
I just feel like,
Adidas, maybe, or
I mean, Adidas or who?
Puma.
But I mean, for what? For Kobe's name, just to put his
Yeah,
name
just
on
the,
shit.
Shirts, shoes.
Yeah, I guess.
Legacy shoes or whatever maybe they're called. But
Interesting. Interesting.
interesting. So
Well, you know, that's there's a lot of that kind of goes on behind the scenes, and you know that we don't ever really see, and it's like it's just
so much
weird.
where we saw the Miami be interesting.
Just weird.
Oladipo's out for the season now.
Oh,
Thanks for playing.
yeah. You go home. Do not collect $500. So.
Celtics are losing to Cleveland.
Oh, Jesus, that's not good. God, who's even playing in Cleveland? Just an angry Kevin Love, right?
Yes, an angry Kevin Love.
He's just an angry Kevin Love. He's Kevin hate right now because he hates his life in Cleveland.
I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you,
yeah.
and I hate your guts.
Yeah.
Hate.
Oh man, I just don't even know.
Brooklyn's taking care of the Spurs, 96-81 in the third quarter.
All right.
Celtics losing to Cleveland. Good news, the Hawks took care of the Wizards.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook did not have a triple-double. He had 34 points, 15 dimes, and 5 boards. Trae Young decided to go for 33 points, 9 assists, and 8 boards.
Nice.
Damn, that would have been a good game to watch.
Yeah.
Too bad we couldn't watch it anywhere because you know they're not going to show it.
Oh, I could have watched it.
Well, we could have watched it.
Yeah.
We got the Jazz and the Blazers. That's in the first halfway, just under halfway through the first quarter. Jazz are up 16-4.
Damn. I don't know. Way to get a jump on them.
Yeah.
Although in this league now, with the way they shoot threes, you can be back in the game quickly,
Yes.
but still.
And again, we got a game that nobody wants to watch: Rockets and Lakers at 10:30.
There's no way I'm staying up to watch that shit.
Even if you paid me, I would just say, "Here's the money back. I'm not watching."
Yeah, it's. I mean,
you couldn't pay me to watch a Houston game. Period.
Well, my whole thing is I'm not staying up late to watch any kind of garbage. I'm not staying up late to watch anything really. It's hard.
It could be like an 8:00 primetime game on like a Monday night that I got nothing going on. I'm not watching the Rockets.
It's hard. What I've been reverting to is because you can find the audio stream of these games on all kinds of different apps, and I will just if there's a game that's on late that I want, I will play the radio feed and I will go to sleep listening to the game. I can't stay up till 1:00 in the morning watching a game.
No.
I don't care what it is. Even if it's my team and it's a big game, I'm going to watch as long as I can, but the likelihood of me falling asleep on it is very, very high. That's the only thing that sucks about those West Coast games.
Yes.
And I get it. They're 3 hours behind us. It fits their time frame or whatever, but it's hard to watch a game that starts that late in the middle of the week.
Yes. There's no way.
Friday or Saturday, maybe, but a random Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, and I got to stay up till midnight to watch a game.
Supposedly, I saw it was a
1:00.
little thing there. Dwayne Casey, they're going to keep him at least for next year for sure.
Oh, okay.
So, haven't heard anything about Blashill here in Detroit. So, if he's going to be back or not.
The whole Blashill experiment was a nightmare. 7 years of nothingness. What are you going to do? You got to eventually move on. What do you bring him back again?
Unless they can't get who they want for maybe, and if it's Blashill, it's going to be a short, maybe 2-year contract.
No,
man.
1 year. A year by year.
I give him a year. Personally,
I don't even
I
want
think
him
they're
back.
moving on.
Yeah, I don't even want him back. I don't care what you got to do. You got to find somebody. You can't just keep. This is madness. The definition of insanity. It's 7 years and he's done absolutely nothing.
Yes.
You should have never brought him up from Grand Rapids. We talked about it on the show.
They should have.
I liked what he does and what he does down there. Leave him down there. Leave him down there. And then if he cries and barks and whines and he's going to try to go somewhere, then let him go somewhere.
Yeah, good luck.
And then if he shits the bed and he needs a spot, he can come back. But don't do this. And they brought him up anyway. And it's been 7 years of just poop in the bed.
Poop in the bed.
So, poo poo caca. So, not that he's got anything to work with right now,
Yeah,
but but
especially the last days of Ken Holland, the talent level is terrible.
yeah.
But the plus side is it looks like we probably did win the Mantha trade because Vanek has been pretty good lately on there. So before the season, as the season ended, so I like that. The Varnya. I mean, he had 8 goals in 11 games.
Nice.
I like that output, so I think definitely like that on there. So I thought that we'll see what happens. I have a feeling they're going to cut bait and just go from there. With
I just don't see how there's any other option, in my opinion. But what do I know? What's do I knows?
This team will be a lot different. I think next year you're going to start seeing a lot more guys out on there. You're going to see Moritz on there. I mean, that's definitely on there. And again, shout out to Ryan Miller, calling it a career after 18 years in the NHL. No more Miller time.
That's a long time to play that sport.
Dude, when he played at Michigan State, the dude was phenomenal. And again, he was the top goalie for Team USA in 2010, 2014. Did everything he could to get us a goal in 2010, but fucking goddamn Crosby scoring an overtime
I
winner.
know, right?
Bastard.
God.
So, but yep, Miller time gone.
No. Well, it's always Miller time somewhere, but yeah, unfortunately not in the NHL anymore. So, what's the big games this week that we're watching? What do we watch? What are we looking for? I got to make sure I don't miss anything. There's not a whole lot.
There's not a whole lot going on this weekend.
We're just getting rounded out for the playoffs.
Rounded out.
Right?
I mean, I would just say what's the best matchups of the NFL. I mean, not NFL, NBA. On it. This is a weekend, basically. I'm going to be outside working in the yard.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll have the Tigers on the radio and it, but
yeah,
I got to get some again. Weather's finally gone there. I got a damn lot of damn work in the yard to do.
Yeah, I got a lot of work everywhere to do, and I'm going to be diving into. It's going to be one of the weirdest.
Kids this weekend, and one of them wants to bring all their friends. I'm like, okay, what do you want on the menu? And all of a sudden, I got this pulled pork, so I got to go get to the store, give me a pork shoulder, and throw that in the smoker on Saturday.
Yeah,
I'll be getting up about 8, throw it in there about 9, and it's going to take a good 8 to 9 hours to get that puppy on there.
Well, and that's what I was thinking too, because we were talking about earlier how weird the sports schedule is, and it's off and goofy, and I was just thinking, man, this is like one of those This is one of those weekends where it's like there's stuff going to be on. Don't get me wrong, if you're jonesing, but I'm not like looking at it going, yeah, there's nothing major significant. You just got seedings basically going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're interested in seeing if the Lakers
because next weekend we got the NHL and playoffs going on, and
right
matchup wise on there. I mean, we'll talk about that next week. I'm really curious. I really want to watch the Oiler Winnipeg matchup.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most on there. On that, maybe Colorado, Minnesota. Boston, Washington, but really is I'm Canadians. The Maple Leafs on here is just on it, but I think for just quality, I think Edmonton, Winnipeg is one I want to watch.
All right, so we're gonna break down some of the matchups.
Break down the matchups next week. Remember, don't ever bet on Washington because why? They'll break your heart. And if you don't pick them and they win, hey, it happens.
Yeah, well, if you pick them and they don't, just don't
because you're
don't go
guaranteed
broke.
on that one.
Yeah, don't go broke. So anyway, all right, guys, hang in there, man. We're getting there. We're almost there. We're gonna get to this thing. We're gonna come together. Canada Mike, I will get on my kayak with some Marlboros and some RC Cola, and we will run out. Miggy just hit 28-78. So Miggy actually made contact with the ball today.
So you got okay.
So there you go. So I want to thank everybody who chimed in. Mike, Brian, Casey, Fawn, Nina, Danny, everybody. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. If I missed you, I didn't. We're thinking about you. And do the same, man. Be good to each other. And of course, be good to yourselves. You know, a little good food, a little good rest, and a little good mental vacation. So hopefully we did that for you for a couple hours. We'll be back next week to try it again. Thanks, guys. We love you.
Peace out.
Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.